that effectively you minister through their survival. And it becomes real. It becomes so effective that we can't even imagine what all God does through just a small amount of obedience. A small amount of just doing what God says do. Okay, we'll go. I don't understand. When we were going, and it's every year, or the last 2 years have been exactly the same. No messages. I mean, absolutely nothing until we get there. And then He begins to feed. He begins to give. He begins to provide what we need to do what we need to do. Last year I told you how Susie tried to plan out the songs. This year she brought the whole song book. And we would just get up there, we'd put our song books on our stands, and we would begin. She would pick out some songs to put in the front. She felt like we were going to do those, but the rest of it was just ad lib. Whatever came to mind is what we did. And God provided us. We had a whole bunch of musicians at the Jamboree. We had a bass player, we had 2 extra guitar players. It was fantastic. The sound was good, everything worked really good, and we was able to minister in a lot of different ways. And it was the Wainwright has grown in the last year. It has grown and got stronger, and it's going to continue, because that's when something begins to grow, it just gets bigger and bigger as long as you support it. And now even the foundation of Christianity in Wainwright has grown some strength with the 2 pastors coming together and laying their differences down. That puts a strength in that they didn't have before. That takes away a tool that Satan used before. So we're seeing God do the work, and through the people there in Barrow, as that's going to be the effort to unite these people. So God is doing great things, and He's doing tremendous things, and He uses His church wherever He can. It still amazes me how He selected one little church in Way, Southern Arizona, to go up there and let us be part of what He's doing. But as Marie says, He knows exactly what needs to be put where for this to happen and for that to happen. Just as He selected her to go with us. Now, why would she want to go with us? That's what kind of surprised me when she called or texted me and said, would it be okay with you guys if I met you in Anchorage and went with you to Wainwright? And I was like, well, yeah, that's fine if you want to do that. I mean, I'll talk to Susie and Greg, we'll pray about it and see what God says. And after 2 days, Susie comes back and says, yeah, we feel like she needs to go. Never seen her before, never met her, don't know who she is. As a matter of fact, when we got to Anchorage, we was kind of pressed for time and forgot completely about the idea we were supposed to meet her at the airport. We got to Anchorage, and we hadn't eaten all day, we'd been flying, so we went down and had lunch, and it was time to go get on the plane, and we're walking back all the way to the end of the terminal building to get to the plane, and I'm thinking, oh, we're supposed to meet Marie somewhere, it's time to board. Hopefully she's on the plane, and we're walking up. Of course, in Anchorage, Alaska, if you have a cowboy hat on, they're pretty easy to spot. So I'm coming down the aisle, and I see her standing down there. The Lord showed me that's her. She's just standing there like this. But we had a great time. We connected great, and that was another unity that God made. She's going back in September, back to Barrow to do another ministry that she does, and she feels like the Lord wants her to be there. And so where she's at, she'll finish her service as pastor in the next year. So just be in prayer for Marie, as she's trying to follow what God would have her to do, but she just doesn't know how He's going to do it yet. But just be mindful that through us being together here, through us joining together here, and just serving the Lord and just praying and lifting Him up in praise, He's working through that all kinds of places. He's doing all kinds of tremendous work through us just being obedient. Now, as I was putting things together for today, I was thinking about how we all have our own unique little ways of doing things, because all the people we met, we all have little ways that we have learned how to do things. We have our little uniqueness about us, and one of the things that drive us is our desire to have. And I was thinking about this: if you have 3 kids there and you hand one of them a candy bar, what's the first thing you're going to do? I got something to go. We were at the Jamboree, and there's this one girl, and she was quick and she was sly. The little gal, probably, how old was Nadine? She's on the website with my hat on. She's probably 11 years old, maybe 10. And we're sitting there, we're watching the games, and you gotta get a tap on the shoulder. There ain't nobody around. And it's just Bess and I, and we don't know the people that are sitting around us. Pretty soon there it is again. Looking around, I don't know anybody here. Pretty soon there it is again. And then the girl behind me is laughing, and I finally pick up on what's going on. And it's this little girl, Nadine, and she just connected. She just wanted to, you know, so then she gets up, and so I put my hat on her and took a picture and sent it to Mary to put on the website. Well then, guess what? All the other kids, I want a picture. I want a picture. Can I have a picture? And so we, you know, but see, we want things. And this is what drives our little unique ways of doing things is what do we perceive as something we need or we want. And I was thinking about the chaos that comes in life over this wrestle between wants and needs. And thinking about how the way that people change so much based entirely on wants and needs. And the Bible tells us to be content with what you have. And you know, I thought this was something that came to my mind, I don't know why. But if you want to see people if you want to see how we are as people about our wants and our needs, is go to the dessert aisle at Golden Corral. How much chocolate can you make stick to one strawberry? I mean, you can only put so much on there. But I need more. I need a little more chocolate. Pretty soon there's, you know, our wants and our needs. I mean, are we satisfied with what we need? We're very seldom satisfied with our needs, and we're not even sure what we want or why. We just want more. And I think about Ted Turner. When I was on the ranch, he had the Vermejo Park Ranch. And his desire, what John Malone told me Ted Turner wanted, was to be able to say that if you drove all the way across the United States, you had to cross his ranch. He wanted to have a ranch that went from the Mexico border to the Canadian border. And he doesn't lack a whole lot of having that. All through Wyoming, all through Montana, all through Colorado, if you drive across from east to west, you're going to cross Ted Turner property.
Nebraska too.
Nebraska too.
Yeah.
That's his goal. And I'm like, why? What I was thinking about is when we have something that we want or something that we think we need, we need to really ask ourselves, why? Why do I want that? When we were in Alaska up there in Wainwright, there's just an overabundant amount of soda pop. That's what they drink. Soda pop and Gatorade. And so we're just going to walk down to the store and get some juices or something that didn't have sugar in it. Not available. It's not there. Even if you want it, it's not there. I had to go to the restaurant and ask the cook, say, if I go buy some tea bags, would you make me a gallon of tea? He said, well, I have tea bags. He said, how do you want it made? So I told him how to make tea for me. Otherwise, you've got no option but to drink soda pop. That's not a need. The guys that fly the airplanes, we rode back from Barrow back to Fairbanks with a pilot off of Raven Airlines, and he said, oh yeah, I said soda pop. Sometimes a whole plane load. Even in Barrow, you go in the restaurants, and there's 12 packs, those paper 12 packs of sodas stacked in every corner that they can stack them in. It's not like they just have a storage room they put it. I mean, wherever they can stack it. By the refrigerator, if there's a corner, they'll just stack it full of soda all the way to see it. And as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, you know, our needs have completely taken away, or our wants has completely washed out our needs. And what happens is it begins to diminish everything else. When what we want overcomes what we need, all of a sudden, all that we are becomes what we want. And we become exactly something opposite of what we're supposed to be. The church is very, very capable of falling into that same trap. What do I want from my church? as you talk to different people, you talk to different pastors. Well, I want this for my church. Wait a minute. Wants and needs. What do I need for my church? I need my church to be more spiritual. I need the people in my church to love the Lord. This is what I need. Forget what I want, because I don't want to become what I want. I want to become what God needs. I want to become a church that actually ministers. I want to become a church. I want to be part of the church that is actually ministering and being effective for God. That's a need. That's not a want. That's a need. And it's a need all over the land. It's not just in Alaska. It's a need everywhere. There's a need for God's church to be spiritual, to be strong, and be able to minister. Because there's all kinds of opportunities to minister everywhere. We have wants and needs. So I thought about this because we did it a lot in the last 2 weeks. How much time do we spend looking at a menu at a restaurant? Did you know, I didn't know this last week, did you know there's such a job, such a position as a menu engineer? There is. People go to college and learn how to put together menus to entice you to buy a higher priced item. One guy, what's his name, Aaron Allen, stated that removing the dollar sign from the prices makes the customer more apt to buy it. Not to be concerned so much about the price if they take the dollar sign away. They manipulate us with our own self to the place that we spend more money with them. And as I learned and as I paid attention the last couple of weeks and was watching things that happened, you know what? Most all the time, it always revolves around that one thing. It's the money part. The money part of it. And I thought, wow, how we have come to a place where we allow something as kind of immaterial as money to actually become the focal point of what happens. In 1 Timothy chapter 6, through 8. But godliness with contentment is a great gain. We brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we will carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us therewith be content. You know, when that village in eastern Alaska their animals had moved out, all of a sudden they become concerned. When we don't have food and we don't have raiment, we begin to get a little excited. All of a sudden our wants aren't as important. We realize in this the importance of our necessities and not our wants. I'm speaking entirely to the preacher this morning because I'm realizing as I'm ministering and being in different places, this is a very big part of Christianity of what he says right there. But godliness with contentment is a great gain. If I'm spiritually strong, God will provide, and I'll have a contentment that doesn't come any other way.
Amen.
The wants and the needs got to be separated. They got to be put in a separate basket, and I got to be content with what I need, and not be too worried about what I want.
Amen.
The wants take us way, way far away from God sometimes. It leads us in a place that we don't want to be. Andy Stanley put it this way. He said, greed is not a financial issue, it's a heart issue. Just like the little kid, I got something you don't have. I've got more than you. The bumper sticker that says, the one with the most toys wins. More stuff, more stuff, more stuff, more stuff. What are you going to do with it? I don't know, I'll put it out there with the rest of that stuff. But yeah, this morning, so funny. This morning, driving to church, go by a house and there's a garage and it's just full. There's a couch, just kind of crammed in one corner, and a U-Haul truck sitting there. And a guy sitting out there on that couch, kind of crammed in the corner, having a cup of coffee. I thought, he's trying to figure out where he's going to put the next piece of stuff that he can haul back home in that U-Haul truck. I'm thinking the house must be completely full if he's got to sit out on the couch out in the garage. But see, oh, I need that. Do we need it? Why? I thought about that. This is going to help me a lot. I know this is going to help me a lot from now on. Want and need. Why? I need that. You need that? Why? Why do you need it?
Yeah.
I want that. Why do you want it? What are you going to do with it? Is it going to help you spiritually? Is it going to help you? You know, one of the things we talk about is financial independence. I want to read 1 Timothy 6 and verse 10. For the love of money, this is probably the most misquoted scripture that I've heard in my life, but for the love of money is the root of all evil. Usually people will say that money is the root of all evil. It's not money, it's the love of money that is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and listen what he says, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. I wonder how many sorrows Ted Turner has had trying to acquire enough land to reach from coast or from border to border. I wonder how much trouble he's caused himself trying to acquire something that he don't even know why he wants it. It's not a financial issue, it's a heart issue. Financial independence. This is something that you hear about, something that they talk about on TV, and Fidelity Investments, and Charles Schwab and all them other guys will tell you what financial independence is. But if you look up financial independence, for the definition, it said it is the state of having sufficient personal wealth to live without having to work actively for basic necessities. For basic necessities. To have enough finances to where you can provide your basic necessities. Where did the Bible say that was? Food and raiment. Those are your necessities. See, we're of the opinion that financial independence would be about $1 million. Well, you'd have a hard time eating $1 million worth of food in your lifetime. And wearing $1 million worth of clothes. Maybe, maybe not. Depending on where you shop. But see, financial independence, we turn that from a need into a want. It becomes, this is what it really is, but I want it to be this much more. You know, if we are only seeking our basic needs, I would say the majority of us have financial independence. Our basic needs.
Amen. Amen.
We have acquired what we seek, what we thought was not possible. We already had it.
Amen.
Because of the need to take the want and put the want over there where it belongs.
Amen.
And live in the need. Live in the what do I need to survive? 1 Timothy, I want to read 9 through 11 and read through verse 10. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. But thou, O man of God, flee these things, and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. Because when you're ministering, and you see that love begin to work, and you see people praying for other people, and you see things begin to happen, you realize that you don't have enough money to buy that. There isn't any money that will buy that. What will buy that is a relationship, a good spiritual relationship, good, strong spiritual church provides that. God provides through that. It's a need. This world needs the church to be strong. This world needs the church to be a praying church. This world needs a church that's strong, and through that strong church, it will manifest itself. God will use the people of that church through obedience to manifest itself. It'll grow by itself. If you plant a plant and it begins to grow, you don't have to go out there and stretch it every day. It does it by itself. as long as it's strong.